Gouverneur Morris, 1752 to 1816. Delegate from Pennsylvania. Signer of the Constitution. Gouverneur Morris was born in New York to a family known for its wealth and its commitment to public service. He graduated from King's College, now Columbia University, and was later admitted to the bar. Morris carried the scars of at least 2 accidents throughout his life. One as a teenager when he dropped a kettle, scalding his arm and side. The second as an adult when he lost the lower part of his leg after a carriage accident. Despite the loss of the lower part of his leg, Morris continued to ride horses, shoot river rapids, and dance. Morris showed an interest in politics just as tensions between Britain and the colonies emerged. Despite his fears that the protest movement against Parliament's taxation policies and trade regulations would devolve into mob rule, by 1775, Morris had thrown in his lot with the Americans who would soon press for independence. He signaled his political choice by taking a seat in New York's Revolutionary Provincial Congress from 1775 to 1777. After the Declaration of Independence was signed, Morris joined John Jay and Robert R. Livingston in drafting the first Constitution, turning New York into a state rather than a colony. Morris held a seat in the New York State Legislature beginning in 1777 and attended the Continental Congress in 1778. At 26, he stood out as one of the youngest and most brilliant of the congressional delegates. But signs of Morris's growing nationalism clashed with New York Governor George Clinton's equally strong commitment to state sovereignty. And in 1779, the Clinton faction forced the defeat of Morris's bid for re-election to the Continental Congress. He then relocated to Philadelphia. Beginning in 1781, he served for 4 years as the main assistant to Robert Morris, the Superintendent of Finance of the United States, and one of the wealthiest men in America. When the call went out for a constitutional convention, both men were among the 8 chosen to represent Pennsylvania. But while Robert Morris was virtually silent during the debates, Gouverneur Morris was a leading figure in the convention debates. He spoke 173 times, taking the floor more often than the other 2 dominating figures, James Madison and James Wilson. He often interjected wit and sarcasm into his comments supporting an empowered new government. During the convention, he spoke openly against slavery, calling it a nefarious institution, the curse of heaven on the states where it prevailed. Morris served on multiple convention committees, including the Committee on Postponed Matters. And from his position on the Committee of Style, he took on the actual drafting of the Constitution. It was Morris who perfected the preamble, beginning with the soaring words, "We the people of the United States." Scholars sometimes refer to him as the penman of the Constitution. He signed the Constitution on September 17, 1787. After the Constitution was ratified, Morris served as minister plenipotentiary to France, where he observed with horror the French Reign of Terror, a fate he believed America had avoided by adopting the Constitution. He returned to the U.S. in 1798 and won election to the Senate 2 years later, but lost his seat after Jefferson's Republican Party took control of the government. After his term in the Senate ended, Morris moved home to New York, where he devoted his energies to investment in enterprises like the creation of the Erie Canal. His last public action was to support the Hartford Convention called by the New England Federalists to protest the War of 1812. Aged 57, Morris at last became a husband, marrying Anne Carey Randolph of Virginia. The couple lived happily together until his death, aged 64, in November 1816.